Thank you to the producers who make this mess possible. Invincible is a show that can be broken down into two distinct parts. The part with the graphic fight scenes where cities are getting destroyed and limbs are getting torn off, and the part where you're scrolling Instagram Reels.
Hey,
Let's go.
watch it.
Frederick and Jaquez.
Mark.
And this is my audition for R2-D2.
I know that I'm very, very late to this conversation, but with how absolutely inescapable this show was for so long, I wanted to come back and actually evaluate whether or not the writing in it is actually good. No hype, no meme machine, no Amazon marketing budget, just a simple question. If you, like me, have already watched all the fight scenes on YouTube about 40 times, is Invincible Season 1 worth watching in its entirety? It's okay. Like, if you really, really just love J.K. Simmons, then maybe.
Dark blood crack yet?
You know him. He barely talks when he wants to.
Tell that motherfucker I'm gonna rip his dick off and use it to fuck his fucking dog in the ass. To death.
Invincible's biggest problem is that it can't seem to decide whether it wants to be a gritty take on the superhero genre, showing the true cost of these godlike beings slamming their fists together in the middle of an urban center, or a stupid teen drama more concerned with which characters are banging who.
You piece of shit!
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was an action show, not Degrassi with superpowers. And trying to straddle that line leads to some horrendous clashes in tone.
Welcome to Mars, Earthman.
Thanks for having me, Marsman, Mr. Marsman, sir, Your Highness.
God, just entire essays could be written on how Rick and Morty destroyed dialogue writing in the Western Hemisphere. Half expecting Justin Roiland to come jumping out of the bushes any moment.
Oh, hey, excuse me. Sup, ladies?
Oh, there he is. But hey, if you like the idea of Degrassi with superpowers, I would actually recommend it. Rex is an entertaining foil, and Robot's love story is genuinely entertaining, with more genuine mystery and intrigue than the actual main plot of the show. Seeing how the Rihanna Man came to be was pretty cool, even if the way Mark defeated them was super cliched. It's a cute, lame little action drama with some interesting fight scenes and a lot of very sudden, hard turns into gore fetishism. Basically your standard Robert Kirkman project. It wasn't for me, and honestly, I think the show sacrifices more than the fan base is willing to admit by its intense focus on the teen drama and the weird woke stuff.
Better. Okay. I brought you some homework. A little Naomi Klein, a touch of Margaret Atwood, some Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I haven't read any of those.
But she has, so get started.
Could probably be its own video, but honestly, it wasn't that distracting. It's just sort of like, you know, every once in a while you get that one moment where you're like, wow, that's like super of its time.
You want to be a superhero, right? Fame, glory, get the pretty gal?
I mean, that's sexist, but okay.
But what is off-putting is that all the best characters constantly get sidelined. Like and I do want to acknowledge this. Like I said, if you like the idea of the teen drama superhero show, you should watch it. You will probably get more out of it than I did. But I personally don't really give a shit where Mark goes to college or which girl he dates. I just want to save the galaxy, man. I want cool shit. I want interesting mystery and plot lines. I don't really give a shit who he's hanging out with. I don't really care. I would rather have had a steady drip feed of lore about Viltrum than this. To pick one notable example that was really disappointing when I watched the show in its entirety was you never actually see the first fight with that big kaiju tentacle-faced thing. I remember seeing this fight on YouTube like multiple times because it's a pretty cool fight, and I remember distinctly hearing Omni-Man say,
I beat this thing already.
so I always kind of assumed that I could go back to the actual show and be like, yeah, let's watch it in its entirety and see the first fight. There is no first fight. It smash cuts to it being defeated. It's super, super lame. But thank God we got those scenes of Rex cheating on Kate or whatever. Who cares? I would much rather have had a first kaiju fight. I hope that's not unreasonable for a superhero show. And if you've already watched both the Mauler twins fight from the beginning of episode 1 and the more graphic fight at the end of episode 1, you have seen the entirety of the screen time for the Guardians of the Globe, outside of like a little bit of the Immortal at the very, very end. They get about 10 seconds apiece of backstory fluff right before Omni-Man wipes the floor with them, and that's literally it. Like actually, if you've seen both of those fight scenes, you have seen the entirety of their screen time. There's nothing else to be learned about these characters. Nothing. It's lame. It's lame. Like, we don't learn anything about this world, how it came to be, why it's full of superheroes, why so much of the time stream we see in the Immortals flashback is still concurrent with our world, but now they're superheroes, and I would have liked to see more of that. There is truly nothing to be gained from watching the full series if you want to learn anything more about the Guardians of the Globe or about the universe itself. And that sucks! Especially because when Kirkman and the writers of the show drop the teen drama garbage and actually put effort into building out the universe, they can make some really cool stuff. One of my favorite scenes is actually when the Mauler, Solo, I guess at the time, is making his new twin. And yeah, it sort of starts off as, you know, generic sci-fi stuff, big tubes and wires and whatnot, but then he needs just like generic mass in order to build his brother. So he just throws in a bunch of frozen cheeseburgers. That's hilarious. I love that. If they had had more details like that and built off of that and used it brick by brick to build out an entire universe of interesting superheroes and villains and stories, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Stuff like that is cool, like those weird, stupid details that are funny and interesting. Or failing that, just stick to the actual adult characters making choices in the moment. That was great too. There's a reason that the dialogue between Cecil and Omni-Man is so powerful. I mean, that's a scene I've watched like 30 times, and it's not even a good fight. It's just a great scene between two powerful characters. Powerful embodiments of two distinct forms of masculinity clashing violently, you know? It's the truest representation I think we've ever gotten of like Thor and Loki having a dialogue. My absolute favorite scene though was the one where Debbie confronts Nolan.
Fuck you, Nolan.
The voice actors get to flex their talents, and there's an actual bit of subtlety. You feel how much backstory these two characters have. You'll notice the stupid teen team is not present for any of these scenes. In fact, in the final fight, the actually interesting characters just tell them to just like take a back seat and shut up and don't get involved, which is hilarious. I'm glad they finally figured out who the actual interesting characters are.
We need to go help.
Keep your asses parked until I tell you to unpark them.
Took until the last episode, but I'm glad we got there. Okay, I've been going on for a while here. Let's wrap this up. Look, the entire emotional crux of the show basically comes down to 4 scenes. Nolan killing the Guardians of the Globe, Debbie confronting Nolan about killing the Guardians of the Globe, Cecil confronting Nolan about killing the Guardians of the Globe, and Mark confronting Nolan about killing the Guardians of the Globe. If you've seen those 4 scenes, you have seen the absolute best of this show. You could just watch them congruently. And to be entirely honest, it's if you don't want the teen drama, just watch those 4 scenes in a row, and you've got the season 1 gist as much as you need. Like that's the best way to do it, unless you want like all the filler that's just like Degrassi with superheroes. But if you like Degrassi with superheroes, you might like this. That's okay. I don't know. I don't want to take that from you, you know? I just personally wasn't invested in the storyline of, oh my god, Mark has to save the world, but he has a date? Whoa! God, do I just not care even slightly about this high school crap. But again, if you are into that kind of stuff, you might like it. Robots teen drama love story crap is actually pretty good teen drama love story crap. So, hey, it's pretty good. But if what you want in terms of going in and watching the full show is more of these raw, emotionally charged scenes of truly powerful characters making choices, you're just not gonna get that from watching the full show. You're kind of better off just watching the scenes on YouTube and enjoying the fights like it's Dragon Ball Z. So I hope that helps. I really do mean it when I say that if you like the teen drama stuff, please enjoy. Don't let me take that from you. But, like, the critique has to be made. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And, I'll see you in the next one.